Welcome to The Results Will Vary, a good, bad, and ugly relationship advice show. My name is Russell Bates, advice wunderkind, love expert, and single for 21 years straight. We have on today Heather Marie Vitale, and we also have Bobby Cohoat. Thank you two so much for being on this very special, very lovely episode of Results Will Vary.
It is
Thanks
lovely
for
to be
having
here.
us.
'Tis the season to be romantic. I specifically booked you guys because you two are great relationship experts, because you both have been with your partners for a very long time.
Yeah, too long. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Uh-oh. I am so grateful for you two lovebirds. Not lovebirds to yourself, but like more just like love ostriches in the way that you're both independently love. But okay, I'll stop talking. So how the show works is that we will take one of your listener submitted questions, which is totally real and something that I did not write up 3 hours ago. One of us will give a good piece of advice, one of us will give a bad piece of advice, and one of us will give an ugly piece of advice to the question at hand, just so we get all of your covered bases and bases all of your covered. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get going. The first question comes from Chris in Aberdeen. Chris in Aberdeen says, "Dear Results Will Vary. I'm a real clunker when it comes to love, but I got the sweetums for this girl I just met, Carol. I want to ask her out, but she's way out of my league, man. What can I do or say to impress Carol enough for her to go on a date with me?" And that again is from Chris in Aberdeen. So, we have a little budding crush, a little rosy cheeks here. Bobby, how can we kind of peacock Chris into getting a date with Carol here?
I would tell you, Chris, saying she's out of your league, I think you're selling yourself short right off the top. A lot of people do that. But to peacock yourself, show her who you are. Don't try to
I love the
fit
word
her
peacock.
mold.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, NBC it. But, don't try to fit her mold. Don't try to be someone that you're not, but be who you are, and show her what your talents are.
What was the first thing your partner noticed in you?
I wish I had her here right now because I could ask. We met in college, and I was fairly involved in a lot of things, and I think that
Okay.
she was somewhat attracted to the fact that I was involved in very different things, that were either academic or social based, kind of across the board. I wasn't just like a member of something, but I kind of put my heart into whatever I was doing, if it was a volunteer organization or sports team.
That's what you would say was your biggest, I don't know, your biggest peacock?
Yeah, I'd say being seen, but also seen in stuff that I knew that I enjoyed, which in turn I think I thrived in. I definitely wasn't the most athletic person, but if you put me on a soccer field, I like to have fun and kick a ball around. And I think that having
Aw.
fun is a contagious person. That's the kind of person that Chris, right? Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris should be. Chris should peacock and use his feathers. If you're a peacock, you only got the feathers on your back.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Heather Marie, what's like the best virtue you can have in a prospective suitor?
Listening. Somebody who listens and actually takes the time to want to get to know you as a person and not just what's on the surface.
Using your listening ears. So going on from that, we got some good advice there. But Chris, I'm here to give you the real stuff. A lot of people are going to say that, you know what, it's about what you have in your soul. It's about what you have in your listening, how you treat the person, how you interact with the person. I say bullshit. What you need to do is immersive dance. Certain moves our primal ancestors used to use to try and woo the opposite or same sex into loving them desperately. So Some moves I guess I could recommend is, the Nigerian twister is always a very fun one.
Classic.
The Belgian sinkhole you can pull out. You can always put your hands on your hips and move side to side like a crab. When you are getting eye to eye with Carol, Chris, there is going to be an overwhelming amount of toxins going through Oxycontin.
I'm personally a fan of the Canadian flagpole. Just really shoot it up there and just show what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm a Louisiana Lindy Hop, but you'd have to know more about me to understand that.
I'm personally a jackknife power bomb. Again, we need to reinforce peacock yourself. Peacock yourself. Get on as much flamboyant colors as you possibly can. Go through the full rainbow and then go through the opposite rainbow. And while you're doing let's say, the Bostonian tsunami.
Ooh, good one.
Carol's going to go head over heels for you. All right. And you're going to go head over heels with all your amazing dance moves. Okay. Fuck the, actually listening. I'm sorry, Heather. No, it's all about what you got in the trunk. But
you're convincing me, Russell. You're convincing me that I went about it wrong with Sloan the first time around, and I can't redo that now.
You did. Yeah, you were wrong. Your 9 years of marriage should be reset, and you should feel the rhythm of the night, Bobby, within your feet. But Heather, sure, I gave some bad advice here, but give us the ugly shot.
So we're gonna keep that peacocking by bringing some live peacocks, showing up at Carol's front door at 2 a.m. on a Friday, and just love bombing the hell out of her. Just being like, I am here for you, Carol. I've got
2
all of
a.m.
these
is the most
peacocks.
romantic time.
I think
Everybody
it's the peacock
knows.
hour.
It is the peacock hour. People don't traditionally know that. They say nothing good happens after 2 a.m. But
nothing good ever happens after 2 p.m., really.
Yeah.
That's how my life has been going. But yeah, the peacock hour. Where are we getting these peacocks?
I think you can source them from Amazon.
And by Amazon, you mean the literal Amazon, which
the literal Amazon rainforest. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but Carol is going to be worth it.
True. I think showing up at 2 a.m. in front of Carol's apartment or whatever complex with about, what would you say, 20, 200, 2,000?
No, I think 20 is probably enough. Although if you really want to impress her, you should do 24.
Because we all know 24 is
it's 2 dozen.
Yeah.
The sexiest number.
24 makes sense to me.
One for every hour of the day.
So my only concern here is that, yes, the peacocks are great, but they may be too great. And Carol might see those peacocks and be like, who's this guy? The peacock may attract Carol too much. Am I crazy?
The peacock thing streams the peacocking. Is that what you're saying?
The peacockining?
The peacockining of Chris.
The peacockining, yes. New movie coming out March 2025. No, what you have to do to prevent the peacock from upstaging you is you need to dress like a peacock. You need to be strutting around like you're an actual peacock. So you go to the Amazon.com or the real one and you get a costume. And then you just watch YouTube videos watching peacocks roam around, and then you do your best impression of them.
I might even have a easier solution than Amazon. I was in Houston, Texas recently. People just have these as pets. You should just go down there and take them. They roam around in neighborhoods. People want you to take them. They're really just saying, steal me.
They wouldn't let them roam.
They had it coming to
Texas. Yeah, Texas is like the land.
They think they're the peacock of the walk, and they have it coming to them. They're really showboating around. But so in summary, Chris, let the peacock flock. All right,
waka flocka,
waka flocka. Put it in Isaka. All right, everyone. Anyway, Chris, we hope we helped. Are definitely gonna get a date out of this. All right.
Let us know what happened with Carol.
Yes, let us know. And let us know ASAP, like immediately, like right now, right now. I need you to right now, okay, Chris? All right, let's go on to the next question. So, for this next question, Heather Marie will be giving the good advice, Bobby will be giving the bad advice, and I will be giving the ugly advice. Let's help some people out. Wait. This comes from Chris in Aberdeen. And
What?
this comes from Chris in Aberdeen. He says, "Dear results will vary. Hooray! Carol said yes to a date. I used your ugly advice, and for some reason, that was her kink. Our first date is on Valentine's, so how can I take Carol on the best Valentine's dates possible? I think I'm in love. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Carol is into the cock. Oh, that's getting cut for sure. I really need to put in the P there."
Into
That-
the
that-
Carol
seacock,
fell for the
the seacock, the Chris cock.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my God. Carol said yes.
Carol
She was into
fell
it.
for the peacockining. She was in it.
Oh my gosh. So, but now we got to keep it going. Chris has hook, line, and sinkered with the peacocks. Heather Marie, what is some good advice we can give to Chris?
A lot of people put a lot of pressure on Valentine's Day. They say it's got to be
True.
perfect. It's got to be epic. It's got to be big. You know what? Guess what? It doesn't. It doesn't have to be. You just have to do something fun and authentic to yourself, something that will make you feel close to Carol. Give her a bouquet of peacock feathers. Go walk on a peacock farm. Being yourself is what got you Carol.
Yeah, and also having about 24 peacocks.
24 peacocks.
This also sounds like a first date. What was your first date with Heather, with Spencer? Yeah.
We went to a bar in DC, which is no longer the bar, the Red Room attached to the iconic Black Cat. So we went and just had drinks and chatted a lot. And while we were still, before we had met, when we were chatting, he told me he was working on a story and he sent me the draft and I had printed it out and I had written comments and copy edits and I brought it with me and we went over it. And I think that's when he was like, oh, this person
Oh,
is
wow.
very special. Yeah. I mean, we ended up going on 4 dates that first week. So something I did was good.
That's actually genuinely super cute. Bobby. Okay, sure. Yeah, listen. Really? We're gonna listen, Bobby? Is this something you're connecting with at all? Tell us how you really feel, Bobby.
I wasn't connecting to much of anything Heather Marie was saying. It really
Fair.
just seemed like she made it up, and
Don't put that down, Heather Marie.
that never happened. I think what you need to do is, it's a first date in Valentine's Day. You have to capitalize on the situation. What Heather Marie said, you should pay. No way you're going to pay. You just got her 24 peacocks. All right.
You
Why
have to
are
go
you gonna pay?
stag like you're a fucking deer, dude.
What you're going to do is you're going to get a non-refundable reservation in her name that she sets up. Now that will look like it's part of a deposit for this, fancy dinner.
Whoa.
If you're in Chicago, Alinea, great place. Have her set it up. Act like you're going to pay. You're not going to show up, though. You're going to text her last minute, and you're going to let her know that you have a better surprise across the city. It's February, and there's no more place romantic than right by the lake. You want her to show up there somewhere around the time that the sun has
beautiful
set.
at this time of year. Yes.
Beautiful. She probably is. Oh,
you know
yeah.
what's even more romantic is when you get out onto the lake with your you take her out to the lake, or she goes to the lake, and you put a little note up of on a makeshift craft with a whole bunch of sticks you cut off of Lincoln Park Zoo or something, and you drag it to the lake shore and you make a raft and you said, "I'll meet you out there."
Russell, you're reading my mind, and I think you're on a boat out there, a separate raft. allegedly, but you've actually built a scarecrow version of yourself that by the time she can paddle out there and Carol is forced to make a paddle out of the feathers from her new beloved peacocks, that she realizes it's a hijinks and you're waving at her from shore, you need to run back to Alinea before that your window kind of expires and eat both hers and your meal. And when she finally shows up back at Alinea, when she finally shows back up, you say, we're even now. 24 peacocks equals 2 Alineas. And if
Yeah, that's
you've
like 24-course meal.
exactly, if you've had a composition notebook in any kind of grade school and you flipped open that front cover, you've seen that, conversion chart. So I think it's just a very simple way to even the balances because relationships are all about keeping score. And right now, 24 peacocks you're ahead, you need to
Yeah.
even that score.
A thing about relationships is that it is a contest.
And you always want to be winning.
Which is why Heather Marie gave notes on that alleged first date at an
Yeah.
alleged bar that doesn't exist to honestly an alleged significant other that I don't even know if is real.
Yeah, Heather Marie. What
He's not here to defend
is
himself, so I guess I could be making him up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. He's not here and he's real and he's corporeal. Sure. I love these like dates. It's a date, it's an event, it's a location. You got on the lake, you got to Alina. I have some better ones for your ugly advice. A perfect first date is rat herding. You can go down in the subways and herd some rats. A cheese factory, especially if you want a good first date.
Oh,
God
I see.
damn it, Russell, you fucking worked. Yeah.
And you can bring the rats that you just got, and they can
Yeah, as
help
your
you
plus
through.
fives.
Yeah.
You can always hop on a time machine and you can go back to the St. Valentine's Massacre.
Mm.
If you have the Valentine's Day time machine, you can go back and kill baby Hitler. You can get
You might want to do that one first.
But what's some other like obscure ugly first dates we can take Carol on?
I think you invite her sister. I know she has one. Every Carol does. And you only pay attention to her. I think you only pay attention to her, and if anything, you've probably been dating her sister for a while. I hope, Chris, that
Hopefully.
you've been doing that and just set up this whole Carol thing to throw it in her face.
And talk about your exes and how much you love your mom the whole time.
You can jeer at some passerbys. You can heckle.
Heckle the elderly.
Yes.
Heckle anyone.
Children.
Going by.
Yeah, children.
Children. Yes, go to an
anyone who
orphanage and make fun of all of the orphans because
Yeah.
that is like so adorable.
And you know what? You can even elevate it more is to strike a match and watch the orphanage burn. And just really, the fire is just such cozy vibes.
Yeah. And you explain to them because it's the day of love and no one loves them. This is the closest they'll ever get to that warmth. And
Yep.
I think that they'll make sense in the moment to them and to Carol,
Yeah,
which is
it's
who you're
like,
trying to impress.
The orphans are going to be like, right, okay, that makes sense. Yes, these are totally off. These are fucking awful. Don't take these advice. But Chris, congrats, man. You got
We're proud
him.
of you.
We want to hear you as soon as possible. See how Carol's doing. I think we should get on to the next question. All right, everyone.
Good luck, Chris.
Good luck, Chris. And for our final question today, I will be giving the good advice. Heather Marie will be giving the bad advice. And Bobby will be giving you the ugliest advice he can. All right, our final question comes from... What? No. Oh my gosh. Chris in Aberdeen says, dear
Chris!
results will vary. Holy shit, Carol just proposed. Oh my...
How progressive.
Oh my gosh. She got down on a knee and asked to marry me with a ring pop she was sucking off. And now I have a wedding to plan.
Whose advice did he use?
Are we sure she was sucking it off? Not sucking
I
on?
well, that's what Chris said,
That's
and
weird because
that's
I always chew my ring pops.
um. Holy crap, Chris! And now I have a wedding to plan. How and what can I do to make this the happiest day of our lives?
Mm.
Holy crap! Carol went from sucking on a ring pop to popping the question.
Mazel tov.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I think they've only known each other for a day.
I'm
Um,
impressed. I'm impressed with both individuals in this relationship.
so since I'm obviously not anywhere near it, let me just give my dream wedding, Chris. So if I am to ever get married, I am dead serious. I want to go to Las Vegas and get married by Elvis.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. There's so much fun. There's good love you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You love my life. I'm gonna love you for the rest of the day.
Love you, Priscilla.
Oh. No, that's James Brown.
Very different singer.
Very different.
But no, I'm dead serious. I think just having your close-knit friends and your close-knit family and yeah, just the really, really important people in your life, not your fifth cousin's half removed former dog's owner cousin, Tim. I don't care if Tim sees my wedding. Tim doesn't have to fly 1,800 miles out from Topeka, Kansas to see my wedding. He's fine. He's fine. He can stay home. Love is the smallest things in the biggest way. So
that's beautiful, Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Why did I awe myself?
No, you should.
Awe yourself.
That's sweet.
I just awed myself.
Aw.
Well, at least I didn't peacock myself. Did I just say peacock?
I think you did.
Uh-oh. But, so, again, that's my opinion. But, Heather Marie, what is the perfect wedding day? What should Chris do with his one-day bride?
So, I had to disagree with you about weddings being small and intimate. Tim gotta be there. He should be best man. Maybe he's a best man / officiant. But what you really need to do is plan for 600 people, 624 people. Make sure you have all those peacocks in. And spend as much money as humanly possible. You don't need to pay off your student loans. You don't need to save for retirement. You don't need to save for eventual children or a house. You want to have a baller party that everyone is going to remember and talk about for the rest of your lives. You need to hire DJ Khaled to be your DJ. You can resurrect Elvis to perform the ceremony for you.
Bring Abraham Lincoln's corpse.
Yes, really Abraham Lincoln should be there.
Yes.
You really got to go all out, because if Carol was first attracted to you because of all the peacockining, you really got to level it up for the day that you tie the knot.
I think if you show up on a 23andMe, you're probably invited.
Yeah.
That's really, you just got to show a percentage of relationship and you could be invited.
True.
I think you obviously have to invite Oprah.
You have to invite Oprah.
Since you're having like this giant wedding, have some other weddings on the side. Like a music festival, how they have the main stage and how they have like the blue stage or the red stage.
Hell yeah.
You are the main event. You are the headliner. But, maybe Tim is getting married to his sweetum, his hoobastank, And
like when kids say when they're in kindergarten, they're like, "Oh, I'm engaged to Steven. We're gonna get married." Let them get married. Make it legal.
Oh yeah, children marriage is fun. And there goes my political career.
This is satire.
May the court documents show that all of this is a comedy podcast that should be making you laugh, but it's probably not. No, be better on yourself. Awe yourself, Russell. Cock up yourself. Peacock up yourself. Stop talking, Russell. Bobby.
Man,
Bobby.
Ready?
I heard the advice from you, Russell, and awe. Um, Heather Marie, I really enjoyed
Oh,
your advice. I thought, that was some good things to, get the baseline going. But the first thing you got to ask, Carol, is can I see your bank account? This is before we do any kind of wedding planning. We need to know what we're working
yes.
with here,
Yes.
and not just her bank account, her family's bank accounts, any bank account she can really get a hold of, because you have to know what you're getting into here. You need to make sure that you're going to have control of those assets pretty much immediately, because what you're also going to do is pre-plan this divorce. We're going to make sure that this thing's not going to last any longer than it should, because we all know that you're with Carol's sister. For some
True.
reason, she still thinks that you broke up after Valentine's Day, but
Carol's sister Coral.
Coral,
Coral.
yeah,
Coral
Coral.
with a Q.
I think you're flyering for this wedding. I think that's a good place to start of who to invite. You're flyering, you're going out in big cities, and you're handing these flyers out. It's a balance of what do you want to spend on this? Because again, you want the most for yourself. So spend a little bit if you think that money's going to come back in your pocket. But if you're not going to see any of it afterwards, have them really just drain their bank accounts.
Love
Um,
is a business plan. All
it
right.
is truly, you want to be a Bernie Madoff.
This isn't a relationship. This is a partnership.
This
All
is a
right.
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's
Not pyramid
Pyramid
every
scheme.
scheme.
every wedding is a pyramid
It's a
scheme.
Ponzi. Every wedding is a Ponzi scheme.
Yes. Speaking of pyramid schemes, back in the Aztec days, back in the Aztec days,
Beautiful segue.
they would sacrifice the virgins when they were getting married because it's like, ha ha, beat you to it. So yes, I would say I would recommend maybe sacrifice Oprah.
She's
Uh,
not a virgin though. Just because she's not married
mm,
to Stedman doesn't mean that they don't get it on the reg.
yeah, they
True.
probably do. They probably
All
do.
right. Well, who's a good virgin to sacrifice though?
I think we come back to the peacocks. There's 24 peacocks that have been in play. I know we lost a few during the first date, but I
Oh
think
my
those,
gosh, are you saying betray the peacocks?
well, they will be used as the meal for this wedding. I think that naturally
Aw.
makes sense. You want them to be a part of it, but you don't want them to necessarily be there making a fuss and peacocking you out of the way, because again, that's what peacocks do.
Chris, you did this by yourself. You did everything by yourself, okay, Chris? You had no help whatsoever, not even from us. You stay to your guns, Chris. And if that means chopping off the cock, Russell, um, uh, that means chopping off the peacock. Guys, we just saw a rip roar relationship just happen right here. Chris and
We
Carol.
better be in the front row of this wedding.
Yeah, we definitely deserve premium spots.
Definitely,
You know.
definitely should have a few meals given to us. I don't know why
Yeah,
they don't do
Hmm.
that
of
at
the
more weddings. It should happen at this wedding. You can sign up for more than one meal.
They should also
hard
give us
hard agree.
engagement rings as well. We did so much to get this Carol and Chris this absolute I'm so out of the love loop. Who's a famous love Romeo and Juliet, but
Tristan
you
and
don't die.
Isolde.
J Lo
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck. Oh no, they just
Oh,
finalized
rip.
their
And
divorce.
that's been the result so very. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Chris and Carol for writing in. They're totally real people. And thank you so much to our love gurus, guys. Heather Marie Vitale and Bobby Cohoat. Heather Marie, let's start with you. Where can people find you? What are we doing? Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, so I have a lot of fun shows coming up. So the best way to find out is just to follow me on Instagram at originalhmv.
And me and Bobby actually saw Heather Marie's show of the improvised Fringe Festival. It's like
Binge the
a binge the
Fringe.
Fringe.
Binge
It
the
was
Fringe.
so fun. It was so good. We so hope that they get picked up for most shows because it was incredibly entertaining and you were awesome in it, Heather. I
Thank you
think
so
Bobby can
much.
agree.
I
Bobby?
agree.
All right, good. Uh, gotta keep you in
Checks in the
mind.
mail, gents. Thank you.
Bobby, what's some of projects, what's some of the things that maybe people can consume of yours?
I don't have any active social media that I do,
Good
so
for you.
unfortunately you can't find me there. If you want to Google me, go ahead, go for it.
So this has been
Um,
again a trend with me is that these are just friends of mine, and some of them are just nice people, and like, hey, we'll give this kiddo a chance. We'll throw him a bone.
if you're out in DC SketchFest end of March, I might be out there performing a little bit. So DC SketchFest end of March, great time. Otherwise, I'll see you in the audience.
Yeah, he'll see you on the street.
I'll see you on the
But
street handing out flyers for Chris's wedding.
yeah, Bobby is gonna recognize you, the listener, instead of. Thank you so much for listening, guys and everybody. Let me give my plugs. So this is Results Will Vary. This is the fourth episode, hopefully. You can find us on Instagram at Results Will Vary Pod. That's where you'll find all of our updates. You'll find all of our links to Apple Podcasts, to Spotify, to our YouTube. We are putting out clips on YouTube now of like Zoom videos, and you can email your questions at resultswillvarypod@gmail.com. Suggestions and comments are also much appreciated. If you do enjoy the show, if you are still listening at the end of this, a rating and a review on whatever platform really helps get the word out and really helps this grow. And also these lovely performers I have like Heather Marie and Bobby grow as well. So just giving like a review means so much. The show is released every 2 weeks, so the next time we will be seeing you is February 26th. And again, thank you so much for listening. It's absolutely crazy that even anyone cares. But given all this, the advice we gave you is complicated, and don't do complicated things when it comes to love. Let your heart be simple and simple in what you care for. So, any advice, even the good piece of advice you heard today, you should take it with a Mediterranean grain of salt. But if you do, take our advice. Just remember that results will vary. Bye! Everyone say bye. Bye!